If you don't know me, my name is Caleb Johnson. Uh, I've acquired six apartment complexes with various partners. Our most recent was 233 units in Vegas. And in 2023, I underwrote about 23,000 units. So this is from my experience, what I have learned when it comes to underwriting, and when it really will take you to look at 90 properties, 90 commercial multifamily buildings. So five plus units, it will take you to look at 90 to find the one, right? The one that you actually acquire and own. So you need to sort through a lot of the junk. And that means we want to try to sort through that junk as quickly as we can without killing deals too quickly. So we're not getting rid of the one good deal. We want to go through the 89 to find the one. And so after looking at this many units, I've realized a few things over those many units that I look for that will show me the good deals and will show me the bad deals. So these are questions whenever I talk with a broker. So when you find a multifamily listing or when you have a broker send you an offering, they call you or you call them and they say, "Yes, Caleb, I have something." I ask them a few questions. I ask them four questions, and then once I get the financial information, I ask more. Or I look for one thing specifically. So first of all, I want to know what the whisper price is. Now, with large commercial deals, you're not gonna most of the time they aren't gonna stamp out there it's $28 million dollars or it's $10 million dollars. There's going to be something called the whisper price. That means that this is what the broker is saying. If you're around this number, this is where we are expecting this property to trade at. So I want to know what the whisper price is. Next is I want to know what's their timeline. Do we have 15 days to close? Do they have some debt that's coming due? And so they only have 45 days to close, which means there is distress, which means I can probably get this property at a steep discount compared to if it didn't have some debt coming due. So I want to know what's the timeline? Is this a mass marketed property to where they're going through their normal marketing package and it's going to take 60 days from everyone scheduling tours and then also everyone submitting in their best and final offer? Is it going to take 60 days? What's the timeline that I have? Next is I want to know why they're selling. Now, the price and why they're selling are important, and those two go hand in hand. The reason those are very important is because one, the price will tell me if I've looked at 100 deals in this market and I know the price per unit should be $70,000. And if a broker tells me they're willing to take 50 or 40, that is a light bulb off that screams, "Hey, take a deeper dive, look further into this." So that's the first thing. Now, when it comes to why are they selling, I want to hear there is some type of distress. If the broker tells me they have fulfilled their business plan, they have renovated a certain amount of units. They think they have gotten everything out of the units that they want or out of the income that they want, and they positioned it well for the next one. And they're just ready to move capital around and they fulfilled their business plan. Anything like that is a bad sign for me because what are they telling me? They're telling me that they want the best price. They have fulfilled their business plan, meaning they have gotten the income to as much as they think they can get for the amount of capital they are willing to invest. And so they want to get the best price possible. And so they're going to ask for the cream of the crop price. And I'm not that type of investor. I'm the type of investor that looks for value because I want to leverage forced appreciation. I want to find a good deal. I want to raise some capital. I want to acquire that property, increase the NOI, and then I want to be the one that's selling it and fulfilling the business plan. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that, buying that deal, because deals like that have very low rates of returns, and our investors aren't going to be interested in that. So I want to see, why are they selling it? I want to look for some type of distress. It's unfortunate to say, but is there a divorce going on and they have to sell? Has there been a death in the family? Is someone sick? Is someone retiring and they just want to step back from the multifamily game? Are they moving on and this is their retirement plan to sell their apartment complex? What's the distress? And if there isn't distress, then the likelihood this is a good deal goes down. Doesn't mean I wouldn't look at the deal and underwrite it deeper if they said any of those things, but 90% of the time, 80% of the time, that's the case where if there's no distress and they say something like, uh, they've fulfilled their business plan, I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to glance over it, but then I'm going to move on to the next. Now, the last thing I look at that's important is once I get the T12 in the rent roll, right, the financial information for the property, and I know the price, the whisper price, also called pricing guidance. I want to see what the unit mix is. The unit mix shows how many one beds, two beds, three beds, and four beds or studios this complex has. So when I can see that, and if I see the purchase price, let's say if I've seen the purchase price is 70,000 per unit, and that's for a healthy mix, let's say of some studios, some one beds, and some two beds. Now, if I see again another deal that's the same $70,000 per unit, but the unit mix is all two beds and three beds, that's also a light bulb that goes off in my mind that says this is a good deal. Because with those larger unit mixes, there's two major factors. Rents are going to be higher compared to studios and one beds. Additionally, there's going to be lower vacancy because with higher unit mixes, right, two beds and three beds, that's attracting more families, right? And families like to stay put. They like to be in good school districts and they like to stay put. They don't want to disrupt the family. Compared to stews and one beds, where that's more of a transient community, right? They're there for a certain amount of time and then they're moving on to greener and better pastures. So if the price is around the same and unit mixes are higher, that is also a great sign.